A federal judge's deadline for the Trump administration to reunite some of the 3,000 migrant children separated from their parents at the border is scheduled for tomorrow. It comes as we learn that officials have lost track of some of the parents of those migrant children. Lawyers for the government revealed Friday that they cannot locate the parents of 38 migrant children under the age of 5, saying half have been released from custody into the U.S. and their whereabouts are unknown, while the other half have been deported. During that status hearing, government lawyers told a Southern District of California judge who issued the initial reunification deadline that the Health and Human Services Department would only be able to reunite about half of approximately 100 children under the age of 5 by the deadline. The judge said he would agree to delay that deadline for reunifying the youngest children if the government could provide a master list of all children and the status of their parents. The judge has scheduled a status conference for later today. One of the government's lawyers said she could not attend a status conference over the matter over the weekend because she had out-of-town dog-sitting responsibilities. Just let that sit for a second. Following a call with HHS officials on Friday, Democratic Congressman Elijah Cummings tweeted that he was extremely disappointed with the lack of information they gave to members of Congress. He added that they refused to answer our questions. They do not have a concrete plan to reunite these families. I'm growing more concerned, he says, for the future of these children. Then there's this example of a 1-year-old boy who reportedly appeared in front of an immigration judge in Phoenix on Friday. According to the Associated Press, he drank from a bottle of milk, played with a purple ball while waiting for the judge, and occasionally asked for agua. When it was the child's turn for a court appearance, the AP reports that the judge could hardly contain his unease with the situation during the portion of the hearing where he asks immigrant defendants whether they understand the proceedings. He's asking this to a baby. The judge told the lawyer representing the 1-year-old, quote, "I'm embarrassed to ask it because I don't know who you would explain it to unless you think that a 1-year-old could learn immigration law." So at this point, if it really hasn't sunk in, this administration had no clue of the impact of this policy. They just did it. They thought they could send a message, and in the process of sending a message, they displayed their extreme incompetence. There is no plan to track these people. There's no documentation. You can't find their parents. You couldn't document these children and find a way to track them as you were detaining them and keeping them from their parents. This in the United States of America? The president's lack of humanity, the DHS secretary's lack of humanity, Ivanka Trump's lack of humanity, Vice President Pence's lack of humanity, Melania Trump's lack of humanity. You all claim that you can reunite these families. You all say, thank you, President Trump. You all go to the border, some of you, not all of you, but some of you go to the border and ask questions. You have no answers because your incompetence is staggering. Kasie Hunt, how can members of Congress, how can they step up and say that this is okay? How can they not speak out?
They're not arguing that it's okay, and I don't think any thinking person. I mean, Delta Airlines can track my bag wherever it goes with a chip in a piece of paper. You know, your cell phone tracks you everywhere you go. You can put a GPS tag on your dog's collar, which is easy to do and very inexpensive. And we have lost parents. And this is not, you know, lawmakers have very little recourse here. I mean, their questions are not being answered by this administration. They're calling and saying, where are these people? What can we do? And they're not getting any answers. They're getting stonewalled. And as you pointed out, this was a deliberate policy. If you listen to the people who were the actual architects of this policy, they said that this was to deter people from ever coming here. And this is the result.
We'll continue this conversation and we'll continue to ask the questions that I think this administration simply cannot answer. Coming up, the president narrows his list for Supreme Court nominees ahead of tonight's announcement. We'll have the latest on that. Plus, NBC's Andrea Mitchell joins us to discuss a very consequential week in U.S. foreign policy, from the president's NATO summit to his meeting one-on-one with Vladimir Putin and the fallout after North Korea claimed the U.S. is behaving like gangsters. Morning Joe is coming right back.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.